If you've seen the movie, you'll understand why I have this in my hand. So yeah, John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum pretty much takes place after the events of the second movie, where he becomes excommunicado and now has a 14 million international bounty on his head. And he basically only has about an hour to figure things out and otherwise. And that's pretty much what we see throughout the entirety of the movie. John trying to find some kind of way to get out of New York, find some way to, like, basically make things right and yada yada yada. Like, I won't go into any kind of deeper spoilers than otherwise, but the one thing we definitely begin to see in this movie is we learn a little bit more about John's backstory, and we also meet some other characters that he's interacted with over the years of being the Reaper, Baba Yaga, you know, all that kind of shit. And so basically, that's pretty much what the movie is in a nutshell. Him trying to escape the bounty that he has on him and trying to make things right. But as the movie makes it clear, every action that he takes, there's always going to be a consequence or something like that. And that's basically the big point of the movie. The idea that every action has a consequence, and basically we see this with John Wick, where every action he's taking to try to find a way to, like, you know, make, like, you know, like, to change all this and yada yada yada, it just brings him deeper and deeper into more trouble. And that's kind of the point of the John Wick movies. They're meant to be like, you know, like, John's actions have repercussions. We've seen that since, like, the first movie, where him coming back into the life caused the second movie's effect, where this guy called on the marker, and now we're seeing more of his actions causing consequences with the third movie. And I can't really go any further beyond that because it's heavy spoilers, but I will say this, though. The dark humor is still very much on point with this movie. The cinematography is absolutely amazing with this movie, especially the fight choreography, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure those that have seen the movie understand why I'm holding this, because, yeah, a book. I'm not even going to say anything more, but a book. That's all I need to say. And not to mention, the soundtrack is still on point, reminding me of something like out of a video game where it has like a calm and then it turns into like this crazy ballad of music where it goes with the action and yada yada yada. Like, John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum really does get pretty crazy with its action, but if I had to be honest, I more prefer the first movie and the second movie compared to this one. Mostly because, like, a lot of this stuff we have seen already, with a few exceptions, obviously. And even then, like, I'm pretty sure people can say this, like, even in a person's favorite series, you know there's going to be one movie that they have a little lower, but not that much lower compared to the rest. John Wick Chapter 3 is a worthy successor of the John Wick series so far, and it is, like, a little lower compared to 2 in my book, but not by much. Dark humor is still there, and otherwise it's just, I more prefer 2's story and this, and, you know, some of the elements of 2 more than I did 3, which, like I said, I can't really get into too many spoilers, and especially 1. 1 was, like, 1 I feel like is one of those movies where it really is, like, you know, one of its kind in a lot of ways. But, yeah, not much else I can say about John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum besides, if you haven't seen it already or are on the fence about checking out the John Wick movies, watch them. But I recommend watching them in order. Watch them, John Wick 1, 2, and then Parabellum, because these are great movies, and I don't think you should miss them. I would recommend the third movie as well. I think it's really good. Keanu Reeves in the role of John Wick is absolutely amazing. The choreography is great. The dark humor is great. Many of the characters are on point, and some of the new characters they also added into the movie I absolutely love. And when I was in the theater, this movie had a lot of those kind of like, oh kind of moments that the whole crowd was getting involved in. So, yeah, I think this is a great movie, though I more prefer the first and second one, but this is still a worthy successor of the John Wick series. And that's my speed impressions on John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.